I mean, I saw him a lot, obviously, in the Central, him killing us, MVP, obviously a potential Hall of Famer, and he's still feels like he has something left in the tank. We still feel like he has something left in the tank, and he's going to come and compete for a job. So excited that he's here. He's in good shape. Obviously, there's a lot of numbers on the back of that baseball card that are pretty good. So he's going to have a couple days to work, kind of get live BP and live arm BP, I should say. Luckily, there's minor league games now, backfield games that are happening, and I would anticipate him in the next couple days to be in a game. We're at that point of camp where we can't take too long for him to work, and so he's eager to get going.
So, what is he seemed to be very realistic, right? Talking about, there's not time to waste. I understand my situation here. How do you convey to him, the ability to capitalize on an opportunity here? Or does it even have to be said with a 39-year-old?
Yeah, I think we had a good conversation. He understands, where we're at in camp. He understands there's a lot of guys in camp that are fighting for roster spots still. We've only made kind of real one waves of cut. I mean, there's going to be next couple waves coming here, but there's still a lot of really good players in that clubhouse that he has to compete against. So I think he understands that he is going to have to play the outfield. He understands that he's going to again have to play in games soon. It's not like a week of kind of build up. It's like we got to get going. But he has been working. You saw you saw him just now. It's not like he came in out of shape. So I think he's ready to go. I think just the next step is seeing live arms. And once he's comfortable with that, which should be in the next couple of days. But as far as him, starting right away, I don't think that's healthy either. Right. So I think you're going to see him in probably two or 3 days.
And the outfield, because I think he had 7 games in the outfield last year. I mean, it was really heavy DH.
Yeah.
He'd have to play the outfield to make this team.
I think he has to show that he can play some. I'm not looking for him to be an everyday outfielder, but I do feel like flexibility off the bench is needed for him to make the club, and so him playing a corner outfield spot, and obviously the DH spot would be extremely valuable to us. And I've told you before that I like to rotate guys sometimes in and out of that DH spot to give the so-called half days off. But he's been really good again, in the DH spot the last few years, and I think he's ready to come off the bench to pinch hit too. He's been very valuable in that role as well. So just an option. We'll see what it looks like, but excited that he's in camp.
Is the last exhibition game, let's not necessarily the ones against the Royals, is that the drop dead for him, or have you guys thought about, hey, a couple weeks in Round Rock might do you some good, and then maybe we can? He
just got here, so yeah. I mean, I'm going to look and see what it looks like in drill work. I'm going to see what it looks like in live BP, and then obviously in games we have, I think, Chicago, Anaheim, and San Diego. I think those last 3 games before the off day, he'll probably be in 1 or 2 of those. Off day, and then get him going just like everybody else, and then it's a competition, and see what fits best for us. So I haven't had those talks, no.
You talked about running guys through the DH spot. Corey Seager has had a little bit of a struggle staying on the field. Is that something that you could see doing with him more often, and maybe would that make any difference, you think, if he were maybe to be off his feet, so to speak, every once in a while, maybe once a week?
We've had conversations. Corey likes to play shortstop. Corey is, obviously one of the better players in the big leagues. Great personality, which I love having him around all the time, and just such a good guy to have in that clubhouse to lead. So if he feels like he needs a DH spot, then that's at certain times great. Every conversation I've had with him so far has been I want to play shortstop, and he feels really good. Some guys like to play on the field and not just DH. DHing is like 4 pinch hits. It's hard sometimes for guys to do. So he feels really good about playing shortstop. Yeah, we're a lot better when he plays. So trying to find him, maybe those half days off at times would be great. I think the challenge is Jock is a left-handed hitter. And so typically a right-handed guys, on the mound when Jock is using that DH role, and Seager's left-handed hitter, so that's why Jock is playing some first base if Berger needs a day. So I'm trying to figure out what that all kind of looks like. I don't have Smith playing a ton of shortstop either right now, so typically that would be the guy over there. So who is that guy to when Corey takes days off with a right-hander probably on the mound? That's all kind of what I'm trying to figure out, right, with Wade and all these guys that are trying to compete for that kind of bench spot to give guys days. I don't think that you're going to see a lot of DH spots with Corey. I think he's going to try to do the best he can to play short, and he's obviously really good at shortstop.
Is there anything that from your standpoint that you can do to help that? That you're just going to have to basically hope that he holds up, right?
I think we're doing everything we can to keep him on the field. I think there's a lot of things behind the scenes that nobody here knows about that we're making sure that we can try new things to try to keep him as healthy as he can. Again, I'm a much better manager when he's in the lineup. And so, there are things that he's done in the off season. There's places that he's seen, and our strength and conditioning team has tried to figure out different ways to make sure with the testing and everything that's going on, to make sure he's as healthy as he can be throughout the season. And like I said, he's if he plays over 140 games, whatever it is, we are we're in a really good position.
Jack had his great season last year, and now he's trying to, I would say, establish himself. Are the right things happening? I mean, it seems like this guy's in great shape, but always tinkering with things. Is a young pitcher like Jack, do you see the movement in the right direction to?
Yeah, I don't think he's a finished product at all. I mean, he had a really good year last year, got the opportunity to do something and took advantage of it. And it's all about the opportunity, what you do with your opportunity. He made the most of it last year. If you ask him, he's never satisfied on whatever his pitch mix is, pitch shape, pitch design. The thing about him is, can we get him over the hump of get into the 6th and 7th inning? Early count, ground ball, pull side ground balls, weak contact, that type of thing, not get to the 2-2, 3-2 counts. If he does that, because he has really good stuff inside the strike zone that can get guys out. That's what we're looking for more than 3 different new pitches or whatever, because he has the ability to manipulate the baseball and he can create different pitches and designs. But I do feel like his changeup is really good. It can still develop. I still think his fastball is, in hitters counts. Can he throw the fastball by guys? He's that's how good his fastball is. He's developing a 2-seamer to get kind of that early contact, to get the ball in play with a really good defense. So he's not a finished product whatsoever, which is super attractive. And who knows what this kid's going to be, but I bet on him.
I don't know if you're aware, Sunday is March 6th. I just want to make sure you had the date.
I typically have the date. Yeah.
And I did not expect to be asking this on March 6th, but I'm going to ask anyway. What has Peyton Gray shown you in these first 3 weeks of camp?
I think he showed a different arsenal that we're not used to having in our bullpen. As far as what we have currently, the changeup is real. It's kind of an outlier pitch that, if you see what's happening, the trends. There's always trends in the game. The split finger was the big trend in the postseason, even last year. It's kind of a split finger action the way he throws it, and he can throw it for strikes. He can throw it from strike to ball. Last night he threw 7 in a row, or whatever it was, and righty or lefty, really, really good. He has enough fastball. It's still gaining. So you want that, 12, 15 mile an hour separation. That's what I think. Some guys like the 6 to 8 mile an hour. I think his separation could be in the 10 to 12 would be awesome. And the effectiveness is real. I mean, sometimes it can cut, sometimes it can fade away. So it's just a really good pitch. And I'm really excited to see, what he does in the remainder of the camp, because he's opening eyes, what you want. And I don't want to say he was on the outside looking in coming into camp, but he has put his name definitely on the map.
But he was on the outside looking in.
You said it, not me. Yeah.
Every spring, there's like a guy who opens eyes. Last year was Osuna. Seems like Colley's kind of harnessed that this year, even though we've known him. What are you seeing from him that maybe you didn't see last year if you had a chance to look at him?
Yeah, I saw him in Double-A. I've always been a big fan of him, maybe because I'm the same size of him. I don't know why, but he hits the ball way harder than I did, and I anticipated, quite honestly. It's not just spring training hits. It's like there's impact on the behind the baseball, and I was not thinking he had that in him, and it just keeps trending, and he keeps surprising us day in and day out. He hits the ball all over the field. He's walking. He's not punching out. He's playing a good shortstop, a good second base. He played third base. He played center field. And he's got a good attitude about it. He's got grit. He's got fight. That's the heartbeat stuff is what I'm looking for. The talent is the talent at this level. Like I've talked about the separation. He has like real fight in him, and he's going to will himself into whatever role he ends up having this year on a major league team, because I do feel like he's going to be on a major league team at some point with us. He's also the type of player you're going to look back and he has 10 years in the big leagues because he can play really good shortstop. He's versatile and he can impact the baseball. His second half in Double-A was really, really good. You ask him to do certain things, he does it. So I'm really excited where he's at.
Do you want to see him play the outfield this spring?
I've seen him play center. He has not played right field or left field yet. But it's just another option for him, and I do feel like the more you move him around, I've said it before, it's his calling card to move all around, and then at some point he'll will himself into an everyday spot. I just feel like that's the type of player he is, and again, he's been really good. It's not just the hits; it's everything else that he's been doing. He's just become a well-rounded baseball player. I know he was in Double-A. I know he's 23. He still has time, but he's been impressive.
Is he the fastest guy in the system? He's I put his feet up against anybody.
It's a good question. I don't know the whole system to give you this hot take, but in camp, I'd say he's probably at the top in camp for sure. Mackenzie Gore's fast. Just saying.
I think you pretty much answered this without saying it as bluntly as possible, but I had a couple people in the past couple days ask me, some of them, scouts, say, is there a route for Cam to make this club? And my response has been, it seems like it would be hard right now since he's a left-handed hitter and you need that utility infielder to pretty much be a right-handed hitter, don't you?
Cam Colley?
Yeah.
He's right-handed hitter.
I'm going to go back to sleep now.
Tyler Wade.
That's right. I was thinking about Tyler Wade.
Okay, so you go ahead.
Never mind. The question
Just
is
put Tyler Wade into Cam Colley.
I thought you were trying to trick me.
change all the
There's almost,
harmonies
there's
and
been
the-
some
the-
stuff in the media where guys get tricked on what side of the
I've been
plate,
away-
so
I don't
I'm
know
making
if
sure you
aware
weren't
of
trying to
this.
trick
I've been
me.
away for a few days.
Doesn't being a left-handed hitter hamper guys who are fighting for a bench spot?
I don't think so. I think there's, because you can flip out twice in a game. So you want to be really good at matchups, and there's a chance that you can, if you flip out early, you can flip out again. And so you have to have compliments, when I think what I'm picking, what I'm saying is throughout the game, if you just depends on how early leverage you think. Yeah, I mean, what is leverage? Fourth inning, fifth inning, sixth. It just depends. You can win or lose a game in the fifth inning. So if I flip out in the fifth and that spot comes out around again, if I have a left-handed complement, kind of nice to use. So I don't think it hurts at all.
Going back to the bullpen, Ryan Brazier in there has 2 World Series rings. He's a veteran. Are you seeing what you need to see from him for him to be able to contribute to this team?
Last outing was really good. Yesterday the conditions were horrible, and you saw what it was. It was like 14 runs in the first 2 innings, and so it wasn't easy coming into a game like that after watching the first couple innings. And his velo was up maybe 1 or 2 miles an hour yesterday. The slider was a whole lot better. So it's been really good. The first 2 not so great. The last one really good, and that's more like the Brazier that we saw, last couple of years, before injury. So, I mean, still 3 weeks left in camp or so, and so he still has a chance.
The Mariners finally got over the hump after building for a long time last year, and they have the organizational capital to make moves if they want to still. What do y'all need to do to compete with them this year?
I'm not thinking about them. I'm thinking about our guys right now, and we have a lot of guys that and our staff is trying to get back to who they were the years before. If they are what they should be and what they've been, then I feel really good about any series that we play, whether it's in division or outside the division. The major leagues is really good. I mean, there are a lot of teams that you're going to have to beat to get to where we want to get to, which is having really meaningful games in September and try to get into the tournament and hopefully make a run. So I'm not concerned about. I'm concerned about our guys, I should say, and trying to get them better. Because if I worry about the other 29 teams, then I'm not focused on the right things, and it's not fair to the player either. So I have to worry about, how do I get Jake Berger back on track? How do I get Jock back on track? How do I get, Wyatt Langford to have an amazing year? All of those things are on my mind, and then also there's 60 guys in that camp that I'm trying to, help, figure out a roster, and also, who's going to help us later in the year as well. So I understand the question. But I promise you, I'm not trying to dodge it. I really am trying to focus on the guys here.
And you're about halfway through. Are you getting any clues from these guys now, your guys, about some of those questions and the answers to those questions?
Yeah, I still have some questions on some guys as well, though. There's guys that are fighting for spots that, whether they're everyday players, whether they're the 5th spot in the rotation, what the bullpen looks like. So there's still some question marks that haven't been answered yet. I'm hoping that they're easy answers by the end of camp. But right now I don't have those. So I think that's the fun part of spring training in the next couple weeks, to see who runs to the opportunity and not from it and shies away from it. And I'm excited to see what that looks like. There are some guys that are showing signs that this is going to be a really good year for them, bounce back wise, and just be who they once were, which was not that long ago, not 4 years ago, right? It was months ago. So I'm looking forward to for them in their season for sure.